I really freaked out. That was awesome. Okay, get out of my house. Get out of my house. Hi, I'm Nalie, and welcome to the Nalie Show, where I help you beat your battles and be the best version of you. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? I do, and I'm not talking about that hocus pocus shit. But how many times in life has something happened to you where you just can't explain how it happened? Some people call it coincidence, others say that the universe conspires. I like to call it magic. Today, I am so excited to sit down with David Lion, mentor and magician. You've for sure seen his video where he blew Drake away by turning a $5 bill into 100. But what I love about David is how he's now helping people find their power, their purpose, and the possibilities within themselves, aka their magic. And believe it or not, there was a day where David was scared to shine. Together, we are going to sit down and give you 5 ways to find your magic. He's just about to arrive, and I'm a little nervous because he's been wanting to hypnotize me. I really don't want to be hypnotized. We'll see you soon.
I would love to have some ginger tea if you have it.
Thank you for coming, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
And I have to admit, every time I'm in your presence, like, you have this energy about you that just, like, I don't know how to explain it. You have an aura around you. Like, I feel like I need more of David Lion in my life.
Oh, that's sweet.
But I want to know, have you always been like this? We know each other for a long time now. I feel like you've changed. Is that possible?
But I mean, I've grown.
You've grown?
I've grown, you know, like I went through my phases in life. I mean, I've always been a happy person.
Yeah,
I've
true.
always been a naturally happy person, but I went through my phases. You know, I got lost in my early 20s trying to figure out who I was, and I went through my phase of feeling like I gotta be macho and tough like the rest of people. But I would say, I mean, if I changed, I feel like I just kind of became more me.
How did you become more you? Because I think that's what everyone is striving for, and it's just so wishy-washy. You know, you always have that concept where, like, I want to find myself. How did you find yourself?
There was a certain point in my life where I was really chasing fame, and you know, I was doing lots of things with magic, and I had performed for Drake, and I had done all these things, and thinking that the more I climbed that scale and got recognition, that I would feel more fulfilled. But everything I did, it just kind of left me feeling more and more empty. And so I started to realize that it's not something that I'm doing that's off, because everything I'm doing I'm accomplishing, but it must be something I'm not seeing. Long story short, through that question of wondering, what am I not seeing, I ended up meeting someone named Alex, who became a mentor of mine. And he basically kind of gave me this distinction, whereas the sooner you let go of who you think you need to be, the sooner you become more of who you truly are. And that kind of showed me why I was feeling so empty in my life, because I kept trying to be who I thought I needed to be in order to fit in, you know, like the cool guys, quote unquote, you know, more macho, more arrogant, more tough, you know, talking to the ladies in a certain way.
Yeah, I remember that, David.
Yeah. Let's not reminisce too much. It just kind of made me see how I kind of rejected the true me because I thought it wasn't good enough, you know, whereas the true me was always very sensitive and soft and silly and goofy and caring. And so the more I acknowledged who I truly am, that's how I started to find myself and find fulfillment in my life.
Now you are a mentor yourself.
I'm a mentor myself.
You also started off, like you said, as a magician. You do hypnosis, and now you're into like mindfulness and meditation. Let's talk about magic first of all.
Okay.
What is magic to you?
You know, it's funny because most magicians don't believe in real magic, which I find kind of ironic. Like, if you ask any of the magicians, they'll say there's no such thing as real magic. Whereas to me, I've always believed in real magic. Whereas, yes, a lot of the things that, or pretty much everything that David Blaine and Chris Angel does is an illusion. To me, real magic is the possibilities that you can do with intuition and energy and things like, you know, psychic ability and all those things. And, you know, those are all things that I really wanted to discover, and I ended up meeting some people who are the real deal, and then learning that it's actually a very, there's practical ways of doing these things. So to me, that's real magic. It's the things that you can do with energy and intuition and all that stuff. In truth, though, I always say that you are the magic that you're looking for. It's tuning into your magic, your power, and your essence, and that's what's going to lead to a more magical life.
Do you believe everyone has their magic?
Absolutely.
Would that mean like everyone has their purpose? How would you define that?
To me, it's as simple as everyone's purpose is to just be their unique self as fully as they can be. Whether that translates into you doing a talk show or being a magician or whatever case may be, your purpose is just to be you through whatever tool or avenue you choose.
What sparked the magic in you?
So the true story is that I've always just been someone who loves to make people feel good.
Right.
That's as simple as it gets. I love to make people feel good, and when I was about 16, I was at that place in my life where I was looking for what made me special.
Yeah.
I was going to a high school called Wager. I went to private Jewish school. I was literally the only black kid there, but I didn't feel like I didn't notice that there was a color difference.
Mm-hmm.
It was when I went to Wager, which was a predominantly black school, that I noticed that I wasn't like the other black kids, and I actually got bullied by the other black kids. And so that confused me, because I was always such a like friendly, happy-go-lucky kid, and I saw other people like me kind of thing, and I'm just like, hey, I want to be your friend, and they would bully me because I was soft or sensitive and whatnot. And so I think that's kind of what triggered my search for what's wrong with me and how to be more special and how to connect with people.
Yeah.
And then when I was 16, by that point I tried so many different things. I tried basketball, I tried rapping, which you don't want to ever hear.
I was about to say, can we hear a little like...
I actually have 3 recorded tracks, believe it or not, that no one will ever hear. So I tried a bunch of things, and right when I was giving up and I was like, well, maybe I'm just not good at anything, I was in my basement, and I remember I was just kind of down and out, and my mom just yelled down, she's like, David, you gotta turn on the TV, there's this new magician on TV. And I'm like, I don't want to see him, he's probably just going to try and copy David Copperfield. And she's like, no, you don't understand, he's doing magic in the street. It's this guy named David Blaine. And I'd never heard of street magic. I didn't know it was possible to do it more organically like that. And so I got curious, I turned on the TV, and right away I was hooked because I just saw the way he was able to go up to anyone and just make them feel good and connect with them through this magic. So that's where I was just like, that's what I want to do.
And I think that's why I chose for you to be here today. This show is all about like overcoming obstacles and adversity and wanting to give back and help people. And I think that's what makes you you. You really, truly, genuinely want to help people. So what do you do now to help people?
So now as a mentor, that's what I do. I help people tune into themselves and remember who they are, because I feel like when most people are saying that they're looking for their purpose, what they're really saying is that they're looking for their sense of self. Because when you feel like yourself, that's when things are clear. That's when you know what you have to do. That's when you know your path. And so that's what I do. I help people with inspiration and direction.
A lot of us are in our 20s, 30s even, and we're so confused. We, like I said, so wishy-washy, this concept of finding yourself and finding your passion and your purpose. But you have this special way of really going deep into people's mind, like even when you give advice and stuff. And I think it's really important that you share this with the world on my show.
We'll do it.
So David prepared 5 ways to find your magic.
Yes.
You ready to share?
Let's do it. So tip number 1 is to prioritize fun in your life. Because a lot of times, we can get caught up in being too serious and too caught up in work that we forget to have fun in our lives. Whereas by having fun, that's how we really start to feel like ourselves again, and helps us think clearer and become more clear on what we want to do in our life. So number 1 is have fun.
Sounds simple, but it's not, because a lot of people get lost in just their daily routines, that they forget to have fun. And you spot on said it, when you have fun, that's when you that's when the inspiration sparks.
It's so important, and so many people forget it. It's just they become these serious like robots. Yeah. Tip number 2 is practice heartfulness. This one I find is so important. It's one of my basic spiritual practices, if you want to call it that.
Heartfulness. What's heartfulness?
So it's basically being true to your heart. It's kind of like mindfulness, but for the heart.
Okay.
Whereas it's the idea of have to versus feel like. What I do is every morning when I wake up, there's a list of things that I have to do. But before I go into my have to mode and I become too robotic, I think of what do I most feel like doing.
Okay.
And it might be something as simple like going for a walk and just, being with nature, whatever the case might be. But by doing what I feel like, it allows me to feel more like myself, and even when I go to my have to's, it allows me to tackle my have to's feeling like myself, basically. You know what you feel like doing because you know what you don't feel like doing.
Okay.
Right? So it might be like I have to do this, that, and the other, but it's like I feel like just watching an episode of Friends.
So you suggest we watch that damn episode of Friends?
Absolutely, because then that even transforms a have to into a feel like, because then you're like, now I feel like doing my work.
Noted.
Right? Tip number 3, honor your desires. This is also incredibly important. This is, if you want to step into more of your power, into more of yourself, you have to pay attention to what it is that you're desiring. So what I mean by that is, for example, if you're feeling trapped in your life and you notice that there's a part of you that's really desiring more freedom or more adventure or more excitement, but you're like, no, I can't because I have to do this and I have to do that. It's so important to honor that desire, because for all you know, that desire can lead you to meeting someone who you wouldn't have met otherwise, being at the right place at the right time. And this is literally how I walk synchronicity in my life.
And in order to listen to your desires, do you believe that people need to make sacrifices? Like you mentioned, there are things people need to do before they can honor their desires. How do you take that leap?
I know about a year ago, I was caught up in so much work. I had my mentors that I was mentoring, and I had my business that I was running, and I was starting to feel like I was just doing things because I was good at it, but I didn't have a sense of calling with what I was doing.
Okay.
And inside I'm like, wait, what is it that I really desire? What's my calling? And I really just wanted adventure. I wanted the unknown. And so it might seem like I was letting go of things and sacrificing things, but by choosing to listen to that, that's when I booked my one-way trip to California.
Hell yeah.
And by honoring that sense of adventure, it actually gave me so much more that I can then bring back to my work. And, you know, so I wasn't really sacrificing, I was actually complementing. This one is awesome. Tip number 4 is cultivate your intuition. A lot of times people get that intuitive whisper. They'll get the intuitive nudge of go this way, you know, do this thing, do a speaking event, but they don't always listen. Whereas I always call your intuition also like your soul's whisper. Whereas the more you listen to it, the more you build that clarity of communication with your intuition. This is where a lot of people will say like, you know, yeah, but I'm not intuitive, or I can't hear my intuition. Usually it's because you're not listening to it. You know, so if you don't listen to it, your intuition is not gonna keep giving you the same advice over and over again. You already know what you have to do. So the more you listen to it, the more you get a sense of intuitive clarity, and you kind of develop an inner guidance system for your life. The most important one, best for last, is be unapologetically yourself. This is where, you know, sometimes you might hold yourself back because you feel like you don't, I don't know, maybe you don't want to step over someone's toes, or you don't want to hurt someone, which is all really, you know, honorable and stuff, but it could be at the expense of yourself. And I think this is where, you know that quote, our greatest fear isn't that we're inadequate, it's that we're powerful beyond measure.
It's on my wall right now.
There you go. It took me so long to grasp that, because I'm like, no, my biggest fear is being inadequate.
Yeah.
And I actually like meditated on it, and I realized that no, it really is our power, because when we step into our power, that's when we start to get afraid of, yeah, but what if I hurt this person? Or what if this person no longer wants to be my friend?
That's so true.
But in order to step into your magic, to step into your power, into your purpose, you have to be that raw, true you, even if, you know, it might affect some people certain ways, because your true friends and your true friends will always accept you for who you are.
So when you apply these 5 tips to your life, the people will find their match, people will feel it. Like what do you expect to happen if people really truly practice these 5 tips?
If you truly practice these, you'll just honestly feel so much like yourself that you'll feel inspired, you'll feel passionate, you'll just feel driven for life, because you're going to be you. And I think that's what everyone's looking for, is to feel that sense of connection with yourself.
Random question.
Yes.
Since you're a rapper in the past.
Oh my god.
Who's the greatest rapper of all time?
Ooh, definitely Tupac. Tupac was one of my greatest inspirations, because I didn't grow up with a father figure. I looked to other male figures to, you know, to learn how to be a man.
Okay.
And Tupac was actually the one who instilled ambition and passion in me, because I saw how passionate he was in his craft, and that's a big part of why I am the way I am.
See, your rap career has everything to do with who you are today.
There we go. I used to call myself King D.
King D.
King D, that was my rap name.
Not go back to that.
Stick to magic.
Stick to magic.
Yeah.
Speaking of magic,
Oh,
can we do a magic trick?
let's do a magic trick. Normally I do a lot of mind reading with people.
Yes.
You know, and I get into your mind, which, you know, maybe you've seen me do before. But I always thought, if I could read other people's minds, then the opposite should be true as well, right? You should be able to get into my mind.
Okay.
So what I did is, I actually brought a little prediction
Oh
with
my
me.
god. Okay.
It's basically my thought is in this deck of cards, where I put one card face down in the deck.
Okay.
Alright, so in a moment, what I'm going to ask you to do is to just imagine as if you can tune into my mind.
Okay.
And just guess which card I would have put face down into the deck. Now I'll give you a hint. I didn't put anything obvious. I mean, most guys might go for Ace of Spades or one of the picture cards like a King of Hearts. I genuinely put something so random so that if you got it, you knew this was a miracle. Alright?
Okay.
So without thinking about it too much,
Okay.
if you were to just intuitively let a card pop into your mind,
Yeah.
what card do you see?
The 2 of Hearts.
The 2 of Hearts. Interesting. I'm going to give you one chance and one chance only. Do you want to change your mind, or do you want to stick with it?
You know I'm stubborn.
Uh-oh.
I'm sticking with it.
You're sticking with it?
Yeah.
2 of hearts.
2 of hearts.
I'll show you something. Look, in the deck, let's make sure Cam could see it as well. In the deck, we have 1 card. And 1 card only, face down. Do me a favor. It might not be 100% accurate after all, you're going from my mind, but see how close you got. 2 of hearts?
Yeah.
Turn it over.
Shut the fuck up. It's a 2 of hearts. It's a freaking 2 of hearts.
Boom!
That means I'm a mind reader. You get no credit for that.
See? See? That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
I'm a mind reader, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we want you to talk to us.
We would love to learn, what does finding your magic mean to you?
Comment below if you want to follow him. All of this information is right here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to check out my vlogs, they're up there. If you missed the last episode, it's down there. Don't forget to subscribe because I release videos every Monday and you don't want to miss out. Be patient, be kind to yourself.
Be honest and be yourself.
Bye!
Take it easy.
What number are we?
4.
You don't write numbers?
No, I don't write numbers. I can count, alright? Write numbers. I got 4 things on this piece of paper.